And friends, we are live. Welcome to Central Florida Weather Live, the show. Rusty McCranie with you here on a Monday afternoon, January the 13th, 2025. I hope you are doing well. I hope you had a great weekend. Thank you for joining me for the program, especially if you're watching the live version. You want to do me a quick favor, hit that like button for me right now. Gets a little bit more interaction with this live stream. More folks will see it. If you're watching the replay version, which you can anytime on the live tab of the Central Florida Weather Live YouTube channel, wouldn't mind hitting that like button and dropping a comment as well. I'd appreciate it. Again, this is an interactive show. You have a specific question about the forecast, feel free to drop it in the comments section below. I'm happy to cover that. Again, that's the big difference between watching this and watching something on television, is we can chat and interact. And even if you're watching this in the replay version at your leisure, you can ask a question in the comments. I'm happy to answer that as well. Again, it's another active day. I tell you what, we've had this situation here. We just started last Monday, but we've got some weather to talk about again for today. We've got cloud coverage. Temperatures are very chilly right now. So if you live in Florida, they can help you with your situation. Anything that could impact you personally or to your property. So auto accidents, floods, burst pipe, hurricanes, hail, they're there to help you and walk you through the entire process step by step. They offer free consultations. They offer policy reviews as well. All you have to do to reach out to them is the website on your screen, leanonmelaw.com. Bobby at leanonmelaw.com is the email address, or 407-502-0053. Okay, friends, let's get started for us here. And again, first thing I want to talk about is the current setup for you right now as the temperatures begin to go wonky. That's okay. Let me just take those off real quick. Have you noticed it's a cool afternoon? This is the live enhanced satellite imagery, visible satellite imagery, but the high resolution version of this. And you woke up this morning, maybe you had a peak or two of sunshine, but clouds are shrouding the area right now. This is an advance of this area of low pressure. Now, it's a fast moving one, but if you notice that there's actually been a little bit of lightning here in the east central Gulf of Mexico associated with it. There's a little bit of energy. I don't expect us to get any lightning out of this, but it just shows you again the dynamics in the atmosphere that's going to be moving through with this fast moving system. So back over to the temperatures here, where the clouds have been thickest and the air is a little bit cooler right now from Jacksonville down towards Gainesville. Friends, they're just in the 40s right now with a bit of an east to an even a northeast wind. Gainesville actually went up to 50, but has dropped back down to 48 degrees. It is going to be a cloudy, cool, and eventually wet rest of the Monday here across Central Florida. Live temperature at Ocala sits at 55 degrees. Crystal River's up to 57. Inverness coming in at 55. Our friends in Leesburg right now up to 57. But again, there's not going to be a huge jump in temperatures through the afternoon hours here. We'll mainly get into the 60s in most spots, but it's going to be a struggle. Daytona Beach, Ormond Beach right now right around 60 degrees. Our friends in New Smyrna coming in at 61. Good afternoon to DeLand right now at 57 degrees. Sanford, Oviedo area 61 right now. The executive airport in downtown Orlando has hit 63. MCO up to 64. We're up to 66 in Kissimmee. We will see a little bit milder conditions today when you go farther south and east. It's very typical, right? Farther north and west, you get yourself the extra cloud coverage early. It's a cooler afternoon. We'll sneak maybe as warm as 70 degrees in southern Brevard County. Port St. John has hit 70, but most areas in Brevard County right now are in the 60s. And again, looking at the winds right now, let's take what's happening over the Melbourne area right now. Even they have kind of a bit of a north to a northeast wind. As a matter of fact, I can show you guys the current 10-meter winds right now, or basically the surface winds. Let me pop those on. This is what they look like right now. So it's really clear to, first of all, to see this area of low pressure coming in. You get the counterclockwise winds associated with it. Generally speaking, we're on the cooler side of this, right? Southern sides of Florida will be on the warm sector, south of the warm front, so their temperatures will actually race to 80 degrees or higher today. But Central Florida, we're with the clouds, we're on the cooler side, we're with the northerly winds. You can see the wind direction, your arrows here, a lot of north and northeast winds. So there is going to be a huge temperature difference between the I-10 corridor and back down towards Miami. I mean, you got 45 in Jacksonville and around 80 degrees in Miami. But this is exactly what happens here this time of the year with these fast-moving systems. Now, obviously, it's bringing some cloud coverage, and I would certainly recommend an outer layer for later today if you have to be out and about, maybe picking the kids up from school, something like that. But also, let's take a look at what the rain looks like right now. So this is going to be the radar composite. There is going to be some showers coming in, right? So this is not just going to be some clouds. We're going to have some fast-moving rain. It's already beginning to creep into portions of Alachua County, up towards Cross City and into Levy County. It'll get fairly fast moving and move over Marion County, Citrus County, on over towards Putnam County, St. John's, on over towards Duval, and eventually toward Flagler. And then all of this will be sinking off towards the south. Now, this is not going to be heavy rain, right? These are going to be kind of light to moderate showers embedded within this cloud coverage. I would expect a lot of areas to maybe approach 1/4 inch of rain starting later today, tonight, and through the wee hours of our Tuesday morning. I'll show you a couple of areas that might actually get up to 1 inch of rain, but it's not going to be very widespread. And generally speaking, it will be our northwest areas, the counties that I just mentioned, that will have the best opportunity to get some of those rainfall totals approaching closer to 1 inch. But it's just going to be a wet, cool afternoon for us here. And eventually this rain will spread over portions of Metro Orlando and Tampa and St. Petersburg and Brandon and Bradenton and Sarasota and Brevard County as well. But obviously you guys will be kind of last in line to get some of these showers, but a quick pulse of energy coming through. Now behind this, you can see what the temperatures are like. It's interesting because, you know, you've got the 40s with the cloud coverage in south central sides of Georgia, where skies are clearing, temperatures are beginning to warm. We're in store for temperatures to remain below average the rest of this work week, and we're going to look at some of those 3-day forecasts coming up. It may not be the plunge of colder air we had last week, and at this point in time, I'm only expecting a couple of areas to potentially see some areas of frost with no freeze. But again, it's not exactly what we'd be expecting for this time of the year as well. So again, 40s and 50s to kick off the day right now. Let's take a look at winds. Winds will be a factor as well. They're not going to be as gusty as they were through most of the area last week, but we're still going to see some winds of 20 to 25 miles an hour. Now, again, you know, at this point in time, they are a little bit out of the east. Here's Daytona Beach and, you know, New Smyrna and Ormond Beaches, you know, kind of coming in with a bit of a northeast wind, gusting up to around 23 miles an hour. Obviously, behind this front, the winds are going to turn out of the north, and for some areas along the immediate east coast, they're going to stay breezy out of the north, and that is going to continue to bring in some cooler air. So we're going to be clearing out as well. Again, friends, appreciate you guys joining me for the live version. If you're here, you have a specific question about the forecast, all you have to do is ask me in the comments section below. If you just want to say hi, I appreciate that as well. If you haven't subscribed to Central Florida Weather Live, thank you for doing that right now. Again, this is a live-only channel, but we're adding in these shows on Monday and Fridays, which of course you can watch live or you can watch at your leisure on the CFLW YouTube channel to give you guys that kind of consistent forecasting and consistent coverage here on CFLW. We're going to continue to cover any significant or really just any impactful weather events across Central Florida and a lot of Florida in general as they crop up. Morning, noon, night, doesn't matter the time of the day of the week, we'll be on covering those live, but we want to give you guys this more consistent coverage you guys can depend on here, which is why we have these Monday and Friday shows. So that's what it looks like outside right now. What do you say we take a live look to one of our cameras? And again, you know, we'll be adding more and more of these cameras as well. This is what it is looking like from Disney right now. Again, we'll always pay attention to the attractions area because that's just one area in Central Florida that we know it's going to be very, very busy. It's going to be outside where a lot of folks will be, you know, out and about. So we want to keep this covered. This camera is just 1 mile from the Magic Kingdom, and it is a very common sight across Central Florida at the hour with the overcast and the rain trying to set in relatively quickly for us here. Okay, back over to our weather computer. So now let's start getting into kind of the forecast, right? Basically, how is this going to play out over the remainder of the day? So again, this is your live look to the radar. This is the satellite data. Again, very interesting. We've actually had a little bit in the way of some lightning here as well. Speaking of winds, by the way, real quickly, I can actually bring on these buoys as well. I have access to all kinds of data. This is a fantastic analysis tool. You can clearly see the winds here in some of the offshore oil platforms and some of the buoys here in the northern side of the Gulf, that the winds have hitting over 40 miles an hour. And closer to where this broad center of circulation is, we're now picking up some 30 to 35 mile an hour winds. I bring this up because if you live along the West Coast, from the Nature Coast back down towards Bradenton, Sarasota, obviously including Tampa Bay, you're going to get the freshest winds out of this right along the immediate coastline. But it's also going to generally kick up surf and sea conditions for the foreseeable future as well. There'll be some small craft advisories that'll come back into play and some stronger winds associated with this. So again, it's kind of a several punches here. Cloud coverage, rain, cooler weather and breeze, and then the temperatures really dropping behind this yet again for the majority of the week. Okay, let's get into the forecast. I'm going to switch over to this here real quickly, and we'll get into this. That's, by the way, the live radar out of Tallahassee. Of course, I can access the individual radar sites as well, and you can just see that kind of mess moving through portions of Alachua County, back towards Levy County right now, and this is going to quickly get into the northern sides of Citrus and Marion counties. How you doing, Annie? When is the cold weather leaving? Great question. I'm doing great, by the way. I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. I had a great weekend up until last night when I watched that Buccaneers game and they lost to the Commanders. But my weekend was good before that. By the way, how great was yesterday, right? Like literally the weather, sunshine, it was cool but not cold, very little wind. I mean, for me, it was a top 10 day of the year for sure, maybe even top 5. I like slightly cooler weather. I know it's coming in the summer months, so I kind of like to enjoy it. To answer your question, Annie, in the foreseeable future, it's not going away. I do expect temperatures at least through Friday to remain below normal. We will warm up a bit for the weekend. We'll talk more about that coming up on the Friday show, CFLW show at 1 o'clock on Friday. But generally speaking, for the next couple of weeks, our temperatures are going to remain slightly below average. I would expect a bit of a warm up next week in general. But there is some true Arctic air that'll be coming down through portions of the central United States, which will at least have some peripherally influence on us, right? It's not going to be a direct hit, but we will get shaved close enough with it where temperatures will continue to fall behind these fronts. And these are going to be fast-moving fronts. We're going to look at the amount of rain coming out of this as well. You got it, Annie. Appreciate you as well. Hey, glad you had a great weekend. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Again, mine was fine until late last night. So let's break down how this is going to be moving through your area. If you maybe have some plans later on this evening, maybe you're one of those folks who likes to hit the attractions of the fireworks tonight, I do expect there to be a quick shot of rain. So let's break this down. You're looking at the HER model. This is the high resolution rapid refresh model. Fantastic model. It updates hourly. We have access to all of this here at Central Florida Weather Live. So, this is basically right now, right? Here's about 140 on the model. It's currently 113. And you can see that the model, first of all, is initializing fantastically. This is great because the model is showing the rain exactly where it is right now. So you start off with good information, you're typically going to have a good model run from here. Generally speaking, as we go deeper into the afternoon hours, the rain will start to really set in up in portions of Flagler County and northern sides of Lake, and Marion and Citrus, Sumter, northern sides of Fernando. And it is this area right here that has the best opportunity for the higher rainfall totals. Still going to average around 1/4 of an inch in these areas, but a couple of spots could even sneak close to an inch, right? It's going to be very localized in nature, but if we're going to approach a 1/2 inch to an inch of rain out of this fast moving system, it's going to be in these areas. Notice again that it lines up, and I got to tell you, the HER is a little bit more aggressive with this line. Now, still not expecting there to be any lightning, any rumbles of thunder of this. There's not a ton of instability in the atmosphere, although we did have some lightning strikes associated with this currently happening right now. Just a couple, but generally speaking, once it moves on shore, I don't think it's going to be enough. Could there be a rogue rumble of thunder? Yes, but I'm not expecting this to be a line of showers and storms. This is just mainly going to be some rain. Now, for the Metro Orlando I-4 corridor, guess what? It's going to be wet, at least for portions of the drive home. So this is 5 o'clock. If you're an early commuter, you're probably going to be heading home as the rain is just beginning to break out, but there'll be a few showers near Daytona Beach, and then down towards I-4 here through the rest of Seminole County, into Orange County, and then sneaking all the way down into Polk. So by the 7 o'clock hour, we have some widespread light to moderate rain through portions of Volusia County, Seminole County, Lake County, Sumter, Citrus, Hernando, diving into Pasco, into the northern sides of Polk County, and then continuing to just work its way off towards the south. Generally, the rain is going to try and break apart a little bit, but the HRRR model does hold this together until and just after sunset. So if you live down in Manatee and Sarasota, southern sides of Polk, Osceola, Brevard, you'll have the opportunity for some showers, but not as much. Pinellas and Hillsborough counties, will be in line for some rain as well. So Tampa, St. Pete, Tarpon Springs, Land O'Lakes, Zephyr Hills, Dade City areas, a passing shower is possible mainly after sunset for tonight. Would expect the drive home to mainly be dry, except in the northern sides of Pasco County. And then as we get into Hillsborough and Pinellas counties, I'm hoping this rain holds off until you guys are home. But again, for any evening plans, the attractions area, here's Lake Buena Vista, right at the 9 o'clock hour, 8, 9, 10 o'clock as the fireworks displays are going. Yep, we're gonna have the opportunity here to see some showers. Annie, thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying I'm glad I found you. The biggest thing is to let people know that we exist. So if you wouldn't mind sharing this, and you can see that there's a share button right there on your screen with your family and friends. All you have to do is just share it, and you can say, hey, look, I found this YouTube channel, Rusty McCranie. I know him from other ventures in Central Florida, and this is what he's doing now. Follow him. And I appreciate you guys doing that. For those who have known me for a while, again, please spread the word. I appreciate that. I'm here to help you guys with the forecast across Central Florida. Again, we cover anything live, impactful weather here, but we're now doing these Monday and Friday shows for you guys as well. So this is going to be fast moving, relatively speaking, right? It's going to get out of here relatively quick. Let's kind of finish things up. I do expect most areas, the rain to be done by midnight. But again, southern sides of the area, Polk, Osceola, Brevard counties, my friends in places like Port St. John and Cape Canaveral, Cocoa, Merritt Island, on over towards Pineda and Satellite Beach and O'Galley and Melbourne and Palm Bay, even down into Indian River County, down towards the Fellsmere area, a few light showers could linger past midnight. Now, as far as daybreak goes, well, here's 6 a.m. and the rain is basically out of the way. So while I could expect the opportunity for a brief shower in our far southeast areas right around daybreak tomorrow, generally speaking, the winds are turning out of the north by then, and we're starting to see some of that cooler air move in. And then starting tomorrow, it'll be more about the temperatures that'll be moving back into the area. So that's what it looks like. Let's take a look at the total precipitation in your area. So this is the same model. This is the HRRR model, what I just showed you, but now I'm going to overlay the total amount of rain. And the great thing about this is we can bring this on and we can literally look at individual spots. You can see, first of all, as this loops through, how quickly this system is going to be moving through. So this is not going to be what we call a high QPF. Thank you, Anna. I appreciate that. Highland Games coming this weekend. I'll remember that, Fiona. Thank you. Where are the Highland Games? I feel like I want to say somewhere in Seminole or Lake County, but let me know, Fiona, and I'll try and keep that in mind. And by the way, if you guys do have events like that, give me that heads up and I will write it down and we can talk a little bit more specifically about a forecast as well. Happy to do that. But thank you, Fiona, for reminding me. So here you go. This would be the total amount of rain for the event coming in later today. And you again can clearly see that the HRRR model tries to paint on over an inch of rain through portions of Marion County. Notice it's a very thin west to east line, but there's that opportunity. So we could get more than an inch of rain in portions of Marion County. It's got Bellevue a little bit more than a half inch of rain. There's Homosassa Springs and Crystal River and Inverness and Hernando here in Citrus County. Again, averaging about an inch of rain. And up Highway 19, you get north of Inglis, between Inglis and Otter Creek, on over towards the Chiefland area. Maybe over an inch there. Then it tries to swing across the Ocala National Forest and slip into the far northern sides of Lake County. There's our friends, in northern sides of Volusia County. There's our friends in Pearson. And then on over towards Daytona Beach, Port Orange, DeLand. you get the idea. Maybe a ½ inch of rain there. Flagler County, our friends in Palm Coast, 1/4 to a ½ inch at best. But we can clearly see that this is where we're going to have the best opportunity for more than a ½ inch of rain, and in some spots, a little bit more than an inch. Then in the remainder of the interior sections, again, you know, we're looking at, and we average these out. We don't want to sit here and be like, okay, for sure, Claremont's going to get, you know, 3/4 of an inch of rain, and, you know, the 429 Hamlin area is only going to get 4/10 of an inch. But you get the idea that we're averaging down 1/4 to a ½ inch with isolated higher amounts there. Notice again that as we go farther east, even in the kind of the same latitude here, we're not going to get as much rain southern sides of Volusia and into Brevard. And then back over towards the west coast, the rain is just going to be a little bit more consistent and persistent. So we have the opportunity here through Hernando and Pasco counties. So right here for our friends in Spring Hill, up Highway 19, back down towards the Hudson area and Port Richey to pick up again a little bit more than a ½ inch in a couple of spots. But as I go down 19 and into Pinellas County, you guys get the idea that generally speaking, the rainfall totals drop off a little bit more. So we're not expecting as much there, but decent rain, not bad, right? Winter Springs, Oviedo, Seminole County. Okay, so I was right. Thanks, Fiona. I'll keep an eye on that. So again, this is your total rainfall out of our event late this afternoon, tonight, and overnight. Throw on Lakeland for you there too. Even Lakeland may be getting 3/4 of an inch. You can clearly see I-4 north and west, hides the higher amounts, I-4 south and east, a little bit lower, but everyone has the opportunity for a couple of showers into the forecast. So that's what it looks like as far as rain goes. Let's drop that off. And we can look at temperatures here real quickly as well, and then we'll get into the 3-day forecasts, and I'll show you the European model as well here. Let's see. There we go. So same model. Again, the HER model, it only goes out 48 hours, right? This is a very high resolution model, and there's actually two different ones. One of them is only a 12-hour one, but this one is the longer extended version, which goes out 48. But just to kind of give you an idea, again, that colder air will be able to make its way all the way into the southern part of the state. And we will have northerly winds. We are going to have some spots as we get into Thursday morning that could see some areas of patchy frost. More than likely going to be fairly isolated in nature, more than likely only going to be in sheltered locations, but we have to get ready again for a plummet of temperatures as we get into the morning hours here. So here's the 15th, which would be what? Our Wednesday. Just real quickly looking at this again, you can see that we're going to have some spots here in Central Florida, especially up in Marion County and Alachua County, again here, Citrus County, going to be back into the upper 30s. I even think portions of coastal, sorry about that, went too far. I even think portions of Volusia and Flagler counties are going to get back into the 30s as well. So keep that in mind. Another plummet of pretty chilly conditions coming back in. What do you say we take a look at our 3-day forecast? So again, the attractions will always be something to keep an eye on with so many folks being out and about. So I'm always kind of putting the wording here as to you're going to be outdoors, right? So first of all, again, could there be a shower in Lake Buena Vista right at daybreak tomorrow? Yes, but that would be about it. Otherwise, we'll see slow clearing throughout the day and a daytime high tomorrow of around 63. Get back down to 45 degrees for Wednesday morning, then 62, and that's it for the daytime high. Temperatures running about 10 degrees below average. And then for Thursday, we're down to 43 for a morning low and a high of just 61. Despite the fact I expect a lot of sunshine, it will be a cool north wind. It's not going to be too breezy there in Lake Buena Vista, but again, it's a layer day if you like to head out to the attractions for both Wednesday and Thursday. Wrong button. Move on over to Daytona Beach. Again, this is one of those areas that I do expect there to be some chill in the air. First of all, decreasing clouds throughout the day tomorrow. We'll start off at 50 degrees there in Daytona Beach, get only up to a high of 58. Then we're 45 with some pretty good breeze Wednesday night. Chill in the air, 57 the daytime high, and then sunny and cool Thursday morning. 42 along the beaches, but along the I-95 corridor and just inland in Volusia County, some upper 30s and areas of patchy frost. 58. That's it for the daytime high. For our friends in Melbourne, again, one area that could still have a light shower at daybreak tomorrow, so can't rule that out, about a 20% chance as you wake up. Otherwise, we'll be slowly clearing. 66 will be the daytime high. Mostly sunny skies for Wednesday, 64. And then the chill continues. Despite the sunshine, again, temperatures actually nudge down a degree or two in most spots on Thursday at 63. Morning low there, even in Brevard County, will be in the upper 40s. For the villages, clearing and cool. One of the areas that'll be clearing faster being farther north and west, 64 the daytime high. Nice golf weather for Wednesday, but again on the cooler side after a morning low of 40 degrees. They'll see mostly sunny skies for Wednesday and a high of 61. Thursday, this is an area that will indeed see some patchy frost. Again, I'm not concerned about a freeze, but we're down to 37 here, and there could be some, fairly solid frost. I'm not concerned about a freeze, but a frost. Could be some solid frost and some elevated surfaces, so keep that in mind. Starting off at 37, getting to 60 for the daytime high. For our friends in Deltona, cloudy start to the day tomorrow, still cooler, 61 the daytime high. And again, more sunshine Wednesday and Thursday, 60 on Wednesday after starting off at 42. This is another area that could sneak into the upper 30s on Thursday morning. Patchy frost possible. 59 the daytime high on Thursday. Again, temperatures more than 10 degrees below average in these spots the next 3 days. In Orlando, we'll start off cloudy. We'll clear through the day, ending up at least partly sunny, a high tomorrow of 62. Partly sunny for Wednesday as well. We're going to kick off at 45. Make sure the kids are bundled up with the layers. 60 the daytime high on Wednesday, and then we'll actually nudge down to 42 as we stay with the northerly winds. It's a beautiful, but just chilly day. 59, going to be the daytime high. Hey, Garrett, how you doing, man? Garrett is from North Carolina, a friend of the channel, back from when we were covering Hurricane Helene. I remember you, Garrett. How you doing? Normally our family would actually go to the mountains of North Carolina over New Year's or Christmas, mainly over New Year's. We didn't this year because of the destruction still from Helene. There were still so many areas with washed out roads. The home that we normally stay at had a washed out bridge. I think they had a temporary bridge in, but there's so much infrastructure that's still being recovered that, we didn't want to be a burden on things and, all of that. So we stayed away, but hopefully we'll be visiting soon. So good to hear from you, Garrett. Andy, thank you very much. Appreciate you as well. Take care. See you on Friday, hopefully. And again, nice cool weather here. Now, I want to break down as well these temperatures staying below normal. So this is the European model. I'll take myself off camera. If you look at the top right-hand side of your screen, you're going to see the time and you're going to see the date. So through the rest of the week, I just ran this out. Notice that there's a lot of 40s and 50s. And maybe from time to time we slip back into 60 degrees. But as this ends on Friday morning, there's another push of colder air. So just beyond the 3-day forecast, when I see you guys on Friday morning, guess what's happening? We are going to see temperatures again back in the mid 30s. There is absolutely the opportunity on Friday morning to see more widespread frost and isolated freeze conditions. Temperatures just staying below normal through Friday. Got it, Garrett. Yeah, it really is sad to see what's up in the mountains, and that's exactly where we go. We go to the mountains. We stay right near Sugar Mountain. We stay right near Beach Mountain. We also love Sugar Mountain as well. Yep, Fiona said avoid Maggie Valley for the same reasons. Yep, it's a sad situation, and we hope that they recover it because it to me it's one of the most beautiful areas of the country. We try and get there at least once a year if we can. Okay, so let's go back over to the weather computer. And the last thing I want to show you guys here is the rain potential as we get into next week. So again, this is the live look to a radar, and we'll always finish up with a live look as well. I know one other thing I wanted to show you guys before we moved on was actually the advisories. So let me bring this up. So again, this graphic just takes a little bit of time, but we're going to take a look at all the different advisories that are in effect for our area or that will go into effect. So it'll just take a half second to come on here, but I wanted to mention that. Now, again, at this point in time, There's going to be no frost or freeze advisories, at least just before I came back on, but it is something to be monitoring here as we get towards the end of the week. Do we see temperatures drop far enough that we start to see that happen? You can see that right now up in portions of South Georgia. That's what those are. So again, I can bring these on and we can query these so you can see that you've got a frost advisory here. It's not even back down towards I-10. Right along the Panhandle coastline, you've got the small craft advisories and the rip current statements. So just offshore of Flagler County, small craft advisory has gone into effect, and it does go all the way until Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. And you have the small craft advisory for the offshore waters as well. This could certainly be extended farther south along both coasts, but please just keep in mind that if you're a boater, we're going to have elevated conditions here as this front comes in. I'm hoping the winds relax enough where this doesn't stay up the entire week, but you get the idea of the winds that are going to be trying to move back into the area. But again, at this point in time, right, no cold weather advisory, no frost, no freeze advisories for now. That's good news, but it's something I'm going to be monitoring. Yeah, about 30 minutes away in the foothills there. Yep, beautiful area, buddy. Love it. Love that. Love those areas. Love all of. I think a great thing about North Carolina is, you know, you go west, you hit the mountains, you go east, you hit the beaches and enjoy that. Enjoy Wilmington area, places like that. OBX. We've been to OBX many times as well. We try and find excuses to get to North Carolina. I'll put it to you that way. All right. So now let's break down our models here. First thing I want to do is take all that data off. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to bring up the GFS, and we're going to go over to our reflectivity. And then again, with the GFS being a global model, we can just go out farther in time. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. And this is, and let me make sure I've got the high resolution, just to give you guys the best resolution available. I have both the normal res and the high res of the GFS. By the way, again, goodness gracious, did the southeast get hammered with that last storm. Now, there is going to be a plunge of colder air coming in, and as a matter of fact, I think the easiest way to show you guys that is I'm going to make one more change as well. I'm going to bring up the precip type here. So this version should show the snow trying to sneak its way back into the northeast as well. By the way, those are live special weather statements. So we got all kinds of things we can show you here on Central Florida Weather Live. But let's get back into our forecast. Now again, with the next system coming through as we get towards the weekend, it'll be something to monitor for the opportunity for a few more showers. I'm not expecting it to bring widespread rain, but it will be a reinforcing push of some cooler air. And again, you can see more rain developing here as we get into our Wednesday into the central Gulf of Mexico, right? I don't expect this to bring us some showers at least through Thursday, but there is the opportunity that eventually we're going to overspread some more showers, right? The GFS is a little bit quicker on this compared to the European model and some others. So for right now, I'm keeping Thursday dry, but there will be the opportunity for a few more showers coming back in. And again, behind this fast moving system that'll be moving through late this week, we're going to have more north winds. Now, eventually, guys, the winds will stay a little bit more out of the south over the weekend, and that will provide us some milder air. But the opportunity, again, to catch some showers towards the end of the week, but then also to see a little bit warmer conditions for the weekend ahead is a possibility. So this is what it plays out on the GFS. You can see the showers trying to move back in, right? Keep an eye on that Thursday, Friday. The timing on the GFS is a little bit quicker right now, so I don't have a lot of rain coming into the area on Thursday, but it's something to monitor. And then temperatures behind this might actually stay a bit on the warmer side. So that's kind of a quick preview of what I'll be keeping an eye on for our Friday show. Let's go back over real quickly again to the live conditions across the area. That's the live radar for you right now out of the Tallahassee area. These are your current temperatures, which again, where the rain has set in, are only in the 40s. Get prepared for a cool afternoon across Central Florida. 40s, 50s, and 60s at the hour. This is what it looks like on the visible satellite imagery, our high-res visible satellite imagery. You can see the thicker cloud coverage, and all of this is going to be moving in. So very dependent today, right? Southern areas, 60s to lower 70s. Orlando area, probably topping off in the low to mid 60s. And you go north and west, Gainesville, even towards Ocala, 40s and 50s with the showers moving in. Friends, I appreciate you guys joining me here on Central Florida Weather Live. I want to again thank our sponsor, the Lean Law Firm out of Central Florida. They are your hometown homeowners insurance attorneys. They cover you guys across the entire state. They represent homeowners, condo owners, and associations, anything that could impact you or your property. So be it an auto accident, hurricanes, hail, flood, burst pipes, they can walk you through every step of that process. If any situation arises in your personal life that is a situation you need to get some information on, reach out to the Lean Law Firm. They offer free consultations and policy reviews. And all you have to do is go to leanonmelaw.com. You can see that on our bug here. Or you can call them 407-502-0053. Appreciate Bobby Lean and the team there at Lean Law being sponsors here to Central Florida Weather Live. Friends, that'll do it for Central Florida Weather Live, the show for this Monday, January the 13th. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you could do me a quick favor, if you're watching this live version and you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, please like this live stream. If you have not subscribed to Central Florida Weather Live and you want these live shows and of course covering the impactful weather in Central Florida Weather Live for you live here, please subscribe, have the all notifications on. It's very important. Again, you're only going to get a notification when I go live, and I'm only live when there's impactful weather to talk about here in Central Florida. Friends, great to see you on this Monday. You guys have a great remainder of your Monday, and I will see you back here again on Friday at 1 o'clock, or of course, if there's impactful weather to talk about in between, I'll see you live here on the channel. Until then, you all take care, and again, if nothing else, I'll see you Friday at 1 p.m. Have a good one, friends.